and welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where you join me in Kagoshima in Japan. And why am I hosting a video outside this rather fabulous little parking spot? Well, allow me to tell you. This is the very spot where in the 1960s, when You Only Live Twice was being filmed in Japan, this spot was Q's workshop. I know, how cool is that? This is where they built Little Nelly, which they then flew, or which James Bond then flew over the volcanoes and took down some enemy helicopters. Oh, it's so cool. And it's only, well, it's what, 4 parking spaces now. I've come a long way for this. But the reason I'm in Kagoshima is not just for this one location. There are several locations, all within a couple of hours of here. So my mission today is to try and work out how to hire a car in Japan so that I can go and see the more important locations. Tanaka's house, the Armour Village and the location of Bond's wedding to Kissy Suzuki, and most importantly, Spectre's volcano. You know, the one that opens up and then the rockets come up? I know, that's about an hour and a half's drive from here. So I need to get going, and I need to get on a mission and sort those things out. And speaking of volcanoes, there's a volcano just across the water that way, and it's smoking. I know, it's very cool. So I need to get a clear shot of that. So anyway, more from me later. That is an active, very smoky volcano, not very far from where I'm currently stood, or indeed staying. Gulp. Active volcano, being active. Welcome to Sakurajima volcano. And look, there are people living at the bottom, and people from here taking ferries to go and visit. Maybe it's further away than it looks. But I've got to tell you, this is as close as I've ever been to an active volcano. Wow. And welcome back. I'm out of breath because the last bit has been a little bit uphill. But I'm in the grounds of the location that formed Tiger Tanaka's house in You Only Live Twice. Very cool old Toyota there. I'm so unfit and I'm very sweaty because it's about 30 degrees today. But this was Tiger Tanaka's house, and that is a cafe. So I'm off to get a drink and potentially some food. I love Japan. It's so cool. This looks more like it, doesn't it? This looks more like the head of Japanese intelligence's house. It's very, very pretty. Unfortunately, the cafe is closed. So I'm sure I'll find somewhere else to eat. But this is now a French restaurant. Just through there. So maybe, if the weather's rubbish, which it's forecast to be for the next couple of days, once I've done my other bits, maybe I'll just come and have dinner, if they'll accept me with or in my horribly sweaty t-shirts. Or maybe I should just get a cab here instead of walking 6 kilometres. Do you know, it's a wonder I'm losing weight. But this is a very, very, very pretty little garden. Gardens don't really do it for me, but this has a certain drama about it. And who doesn't like a waterfall in a garden? See you all in a bit. And there she goes again. Whilst I'm in Tanaka's house. Welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where you join me here, which is actually just a couple of miles south of where I'm currently staying in Kagoshima. But I'm about to head for another adventure, a James Bond type adventure. I'm heading to a place called Bonosucho Akime. What is Bonosucho Akime, I hear you ask? Well, it was the location, from what I'm reliably informed, of the armour village. My chariot arrives. I did tell you it's not quite the shoot castle. And welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where, as you can see from the sign behind me, I'm at a James Bond location. It is pumping it down today, so I'm not going to stay out here for too long. I'm just going to take some videos and then I'll do a voiceover. But this is very, very cool. Look. I know, 007 Cinematography Monument. That's right. And I am here. Right, I'm getting in the dry, so see you later. Bye. Now, in the film You Only Live Twice, this was the location of the armour village, or the little fisherman's village that James Bond sees. And in the film, after he builds Little Nelly, the little helicopter, he flies over this village and reports, it's just a fishing village, there's nothing to see. It's clearly changed quite a bit in the last 50 odd years, but still very, very, very cool, and oh so James Bond. And welcome back to Rupy's Break from Reality, where you join me in a rather otherworldly looking Japan. It's not otherworldly at all, it's just incredibly foggy, which is really, really frustrating, because I'm here at the, do you know, I've been practicing this. Takachi Hogwara Visitor Centre, which is normally the starting point, or one of the starting points, for a trek to a hill or mountain that's just there. Well, you know, a few kilometres that way. And on a good day, we might have been able to see it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Mount Shinmodake, which is the volcano from which, where Spectre had their rocket base, or not rocket base, where Spectre had their base in You Only Live Twice, from which the rocket emerged. So you remember the scene? And if you've not seen it, you really should. It's one of the better James Bond films. Actually, it's one of the best James Bond films. One of my father's favourites, in fact. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Hey ho. But if you remember the scene, it's at the top of a volcano. Bond and Kissy Suzuki climb to the top. They look over, they see a lake, and they think, how can a helicopter have disappeared in there? And if you've seen the film, you'll know why I'm talking about a helicopter. And if you haven't watched the film, then you'll understand. They then throw a rock into the lake, and it's metal. It's not a lake at all. And then a few minutes later, it opens up, and out comes the helicopter again. It is spectacular. And it's just a few kilometres, over there. But as you can tell, we can see, well, I think the technical term is sweet FA. But the journey up here was very, very, very pretty. That there is the cabbie who has brought me here. He's waiting a few minutes because I can't go anywhere. And because the volcano erupted just a couple of years ago, or a few years ago, and there've been some sort of minor eruptions in the more recent past, I can't trek it. Normally, you can trek to it and look over. But I can't, which is a real shame. So I'm going to head back. I'm going to take some more videos, and you'll just have to take my word for it that the James Bond volcano is over there. Well, you know, a couple of kilometers back.